volume, wake the crowd. F'nAround, stop the day. Rats and raves, we got something to say.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. It is great to see and talk to everybody again after this wonderful Thanksgiving. Joe, how was Thanksgiving for you, bud?
Thanksgiving was wonderful. It's great to be back. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but it's all about
Oh, God, yes.
Thanksgiving. It's all about
Oh, God,
being
yes.
together and being family. I mean, did you get your whole family together?
You know the family dynamic with us, my boy. The family dynamic with the Fontanos is absolutely fucking insane. So, as far as the people that, let's say, necessarily directly matter, there's a few people that are still over by you in Chicago, but most of us are down here in Atlanta, man.
Oh,
It's and we were all together. So yeah, we had a great time, good food. Dad killed it on the turkey this year. We did first time we ever brined the turkey, right? For a couple days, I believe it was like a day and a half.
oh, very
We
nice.
brined. Man, it was good. Yeah, he did a great job. So overall, amazing Thanksgiving, dude. Very crazy though.
Yeah.
Very, back and forth. I mean, I dropped a post on, I believe it was LinkedIn, where I mentioned that it wasn't much of a break. You know how usually like, you take the nice long break for Thanksgiving. It was kind of more like a pause.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, normally it's like dead. I've always said in business, and it's forever, holidays are a dead time. You get that dead zone. Once you hit Thanksgiving, you're kind of flying through New Year's. You get a little bit of break. You get a little bit of business again, and then tax season pops up. So you got to stay busy from spring, summer, and fall because the rest of this kind of gets a little iffy. But for some reason, I don't know why, but like my socials were a little busy during this Thanksgiving holiday. I don't know why.
I mean,
No, but
you know why.
I don't know why, but I had every merger and acquisition founder and like all these cannabis owners all over the country staring at my LinkedIn. I couldn't figure out why they weren't spending time with their families when I was spending time with mine.
Well, but they got deadlines.
Everyone's got a deadline. Ooh,
Yeah, there's a lot of deadlines with that situation and what you guys got going on over there, and you're starting.
But
to
we've
see
carved
that.
enough turkeys for this week. We don't need to
Oh
carve
yeah, no,
another one.
I mean, as far as like for them though, what you're starting to see on the other end of the new era situation, right? Is they're getting backed into a corner. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely, right? Every move that they try to make, they can't get up out of that corner, right? So that's why you've seen an uptick, especially on LinkedIn. You've seen a crazy uptick because these people have deadlines to meet. We all know there's a lot of money involved in that situation, right? A lot of money is being spent monthly to not get people to see what's going on, right? You know these numbers.
Oh.
So that's where you've seen the business. And I remember you telling me you believed that we were going to have a slow weekend and it was going to be slow, but I'm not going to lie to you, bud. That was one of the first times that you were wrong about social media or anything like that in a very long time.
100%. It made no sense. I mean, from years and years of patterns and dictating in the analytics, it made no sense. We had a massive uptick. But look at this. But look at the situations and what we've been accomplishing and what we did on Thanksgiving, which I want to get to in a second. But I mean, look what we put out and what we put together. I mean, I expected some movement, but I did not expect that movement.
Just to let you know, dude, Prentice couldn't be happier, bro. He absolutely could not be happier about the way things are going. I believe Reddit did what that day, right? You said Reddit did almost 100,000.
Almost 100,000 views on it between all the different places. And I mean, honestly, it's kind of sad because even when I was putting it out there, I put out the Spotify link. I put it on there. I even said it was from WUREFM Global Radio. And a lot of places banned me. Like I got kicked out of a lot of Reddit groups for posting it up because they didn't consider us an actual legitimate news source because it's not on a list. They pick and choose what links you could put up and what news sources are legitimate and what they want to show. So, I mean, I got massive traction, but they pulled it down after an hour. Imagine if they let it sit.
Yeah, so and just to not touch on this guy so much too either, but Elon Musk has been saying this ranting and raving stuff about how Twitter is going to become the new media outlet. What do you think about that real quick? What do you think about Twitter becoming the new spot, or X actually? My bad, it's not Twitter.
I love the concept of it because I think all it's doing is saying, hey, we have a First Amendment right of freedom of speech. They've been suppressing it for years and years. And not only when they're suppressing it, they're not letting you say what you want to say or put it out there. I mean, look at most social media sites. Look at every other one. If it goes against their policies or go against their political beliefs or their religious beliefs, they're going to suppress what you say. So he's finally saying, hey, you want to come and actually see unfiltered truth and unfiltered words, why don't you come to X and actually become the me again? Show what you want to say what you want to say, and put it out there. Because, I mean, honestly, I've done social media for our stuff. I've done social media for other things. I've done social media for the campaigns I'm working on personally and for all the effing around stuff. I mean, some places literally suppress you. If they don't suppress you, they'll shadow ban you, or they'll make sure people don't see what you're posting because of the fact it's not on their agenda, which is sad.
Yeah.
But it's not like a conspiracy theory. It's written right there in the terms and conditions.
Yeah. So you went in and absolutely got great traction. I know you were telling me after we got done eating turkey and stuff that that Reddit went nuts. I know a lot of people on LinkedIn have been looking at it, right? So you know, just to kind of, you know, give anybody who's just tuning in right now, you know, a basic rundown of what we're talking about. Joey got a really cryptic ass mysterious message. I forgot what day it was, last week sometime, and you know, it went straight to the spam box, basically, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Didn't it go to your spam
Instagram
box?
spam box.
Yeah, and I believe the name was Nelson Mandela, something, right? So we're just sitting here and we're like, okay, well, somebody's asking him if they can, you know, get their get their story out.
Yeah, get their story out. He almost made it seem like it's a life or death situation.
Yeah. And then, you know, we were kind of just, you know, obviously Joey chases down any lead until he figures out that it's not worth shit. Once he figures out it's not worth shit, then he'll stop. But
if there's a scent,
you know,
this bloodhound's going to run.
Yeah, right. We get on the phone with, or we get on this call, and, you know, halfway through the call, we figure out that you know, that Prentice is actually currently locked up. To what I can see from my best knowledge, right? And I'm not no attorney, right? I could probably get Vadim one day to weigh in on this, Vadim Glozman, and see what he thinks. Actually, it might be good one morning, actually, one of these mornings. Maybe I'll call him after this and I'll see what he's thinking. Maybe we'll get him up here. But from what me and the team over here at 312 All can see, and at WURE, because Jeff's been doing his own research too, right? So what we could see is, you know, he didn't kill nobody, right? And he was the only one that didn't have a private attorney, right? Now, this is obviously an in the nutshell explanation, right? I'm not going to sit here and dive into law about shit, because I'm not a fucking attorney.
But you're a jailhouse lawyer.
Yeah, but that's 100%, dude. And I was trying to like debate on whether I should use that fucking term, because if you're in jail and you get called a jailhouse attorney, it's not always necessarily the best thing, because you got these guys that run around the deck and shit, and they act like they know everything about the law, right? But you do have guys that are like Prentice, right? And he's not the only one that this has happened to, right? It's just the only one that reached out to us to get the story out, right? I urge anybody that is interested in telling their story about this. It's a huge space that I love to be in. And I know that Joey's marketing team, Brittany and them, they love to be involved in this space. So if there's anybody else that has a situation like this, please don't hesitate to reach out to F'nAround and Joey and them, so that we could check the story out and see what we could do. But back to Prentice, you know, you have the jailhouse attorneys and shit. And that's what it is, right? So I'm not an attorney, but what I can tell you is this man did not have the gun, was never able to be proven to be near the gun. And this is all in legal documents. This is all there in black and white. I mean, the stuff's in our files. We can I'll see if he's supposed to be calling from the jail today, actually, because I made it abundantly clear to him we have to stop doing the Instagram shit, dude. I mean, if you're trying to advocate for doing the right things, you need to be completely doing the right things, right? You want people to look at you and think the right way about you. We need you to stop doing that stupid shit. We'll do the work, and we can do it. He can call you whenever he wants, right, Joe?
Yep.
He can call you guys over at F'nAround and talk to you guys whenever he wants. Your phone's always open. My phone's always open. So he's supposed to be calling me, and we should see if we can get some of them documents out there on social media, right? Because these are legal documents signed by judges and shit. What are you going to do? You can't dispute them. You never had the gun. So was this guy at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? And I want to get your view on this, because I'm an ex-con, right? So I'm a criminal. I've done stupid shit. I've changed my life around, but I think that way, right? So in my view, I believe that he was at the wrong place at the wrong time and sentenced too long, right? Now, coming from an outside perspective, more in a business manner, what do you think after hearing his story?
Yeah, I think it was an archaic laws and switched between laws, and he got caught in a drift between the system. I think it was sentenced under one way in a very prime time in our history, what was going on in California, with the nation's eyes were on it. They were trying to just push another thing through the system, not get any eyes on what was going on. And
Hmm.
when the laws changed, he got caught between the system where he's grandfathered into the old system, but then the new system won't allow him to cover that. So nowadays, when they do new laws or they replace stuff, they put in there the clauses where if you fall before this time, you're on this law. You fall after, you're on this law because of the situations such as his. I'm guessing because look at when you go look at the new datings or anything for illegal things or arrests, when they change
Yeah.
it or update it, it's as of that date going forward. Anyone
Hmm.
before that date falls under these old archaic laws that they worked at the time, but as everything else in society, everything's got to evolve and change as we learn more and get more in depth in what's going on. And I think that's
Okay.
kind of what happened. So,
So now, hey, wait, let me cut you off for a second here and ask you another question now, sir. So, do you think it's because of the price tag behind what they got to give him if they're wrong?
oh, 100%. That's 100% because of that.
so,
That's
so that's what it is, then.
and I mean, look at our own little due diligence team. I mean, you and I were looking for him and we couldn't find him in the system. What did our little due diligence team find when they were looking for him? Do you remember?
Are you talking about the Wikipedia?
No, the prison system.
Oh yeah, no, that he was inputted incorrectly.
Correct. They
So
misspelled
they
his
uploaded
name.
his information wrong, and you couldn't even find him properly.
Correct. So when you're looking for him in the prison system, his name's not even spelled properly, which means they don't even have him properly in the system. That alone just shows it's a miscalculation and error in the system. They're trying to make it lost. Whether that was on purpose or on accident, we don't know. It's who are we to judge? But let's be very honest. When you're talking about government, most things are done on purpose. So,
So you agree with the price tag then? Because
100%.
I can tell you on my situation, right? Which I'm not gonna lie to you, I got a low number, right? There was a lot of different things going on in my life at that time, right? So it was definitely a trying time in my life, but I know that some of them situations can have a pretty hefty price tag on them, right? They can definitely, and you're talking about a guy that could possibly, let's just say that, in a perfect world, he goes back to court, right? They change his charges and he did an extra 20 years, right? So let's just say he was meant to do 15 years off of his role that he directly played in it, right? So you're probably looking at something in the double digit millions, right?
So you're looking at
definitely
8 digits. Was what you're saying. But here's the thing. You
yeah,
said something. You said something which brings it up too, which is a big issue in this situation. You were at a bad time, so you got a low price tag. Now look at him. He's trying to better himself. He's trying to better society. He's
Mhm.
clear headed. He didn't get caught in the system and make himself work. He didn't go dive down into addiction and fall down a big deep barrel. He's trying to
Yeah,
advocate for youth and help youth to make sure they don't end in the same situation.
facts.
The better off you are coming out, the worse it is for the system. Because if you're caught in the system, you're happy to get out for any price tag. When you're someone that has educated yourself, got in your
Hmm.
education, lived in there and didn't let the system corrupt who you were and still want to come out as a decent human being, he's sitting there still laughing and enjoying life because of the fact he found a way to survive and keep his hopes up when most people would have probably cracked and broke a long time ago and been
Yeah,
lost in the system.
facts.
That is not the person you want in the limelight or fighting. That it's not the person you want a spotlight on. It's not the person you want to sit in a court and fight for how much you owe. You want a broken system destroyed by the system that you're saying that it was
Yeah.
going to be this way no matter what they did versus somebody
So,
who,
so this was meant to be in a sense, like either way, this was happening type shit, right?
yeah,
Man, yeah,
if you
yeah,
view it
because
that way, yeah,
you got to sit back and look at that, right? So now, we're not gonna give up. I'm gonna push Buddy's story till I can't no more, right? You know
agree.
what I'm saying? I'm gonna push Prentice's story till I can't. And just to let everybody know that's tuning in and supports him, I do have some really heartfelt messages that I'm gonna eventually talk to him and see if he can get out to because he has some messages for you guys over there, dude. I mean, he's so happy that you opened up that message, bro. Um, it's like he's got a new breath of life in him now when you talk to him, and these messages really hit you right here, my boy. when he leaves me these voice messages. I get one a day basically. I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, just call.
Right.
You got it, Ted.
You,
Just call.
you have to do it how you want it. And as I said, like, I'm a rant, I'm a rave, and I want to find a shot in everything wrong in the system. Between the morning show, between the podcast, I don't care what industry it is. It's easy. It was easy
Yeah.
for us to start with cannabis because that's where I just came from, and it was easy to open the door as the receipts. But the point is,
Yeah.
it's not just cannabis; it's every system. So no matter what system it is, if you got a story, let's talk about it, because we already know the media is going to suppress you. The people don't want to tell your story. We might not be able to change it, but at least we'll listen and try and show you to a different audience, and we'll try and push it for you.
Because just wait till wait till the next episode. We're gonna dive into some music stuff, you guys, that we've got in our back pocket. The music industry is just as dirty as any other industry, and I'm learning that super quick. It's kind of crazy that everything that, this country was built on, all these different industries, now it's all just turned to shit, and there's just corruption and bullshit, and people fucking people left and right. People are fucking people because of skin color, people taking it. Oh, it's just out of this.
And it doesn't matter. It's all, in the end, it's always the people with the power. It's rich versus poor. It's any color versus any color. Doesn't matter what you are. It's just who's at the table controlling the power at that time. And sadly, how it is nowadays, it's very disproportionate how it's going. But in the end, it all comes down to straight classism and power and representing. I mean, that's America. Look at America. Every time a group of people started to get power, they were invited to the table. That's the only reason that's the only reason what the WASP started letting everyone else to the table, because they started gaining traction and power. And they needed, and I mean, they decided to classify them as white as they started getting power and traction. And that's how the community that was considered white in America grew. But kind of bringing it back to poker, when you were talking about, remember how they always say at poker, if you don't know who the sucker at the table, it's you. If you're going to sit here and tell me your industry doesn't have corruption and fraud, you're the sucker at the table. Because I can't think of an industry that doesn't have it, and you can't even goddamn well tell me it was the church.
Let's talk about them one day.
Yeah.
Hey, you could probably draw like 4 or 5 episodes on the Vatican, my boy, for real.
Oh, you could draw it on any religion. Probably everybody's got a skeleton that they don't want to hide, and if you can't find the skeleton, you haven't dug deep enough, or they paid enough to hide it, because that's kind of what they do. The problem is,
we don't mind digging though.
No, I don't mind digging. We'll dig all we want. I mean, every system's got something messed up. There's a reason why there's changes in power. There's a reason why today's getting so much worse with social media and how things are going. Everybody has a spotlight and a camera. And if we had a camera or a spotlight decades ago, the whole world would be different.
Yeah. And right now, the spotlight and the camera is on you, Gavin Newsom. I asked you a question on Twitter, and I'm still waiting for an answer. I'm looking at my phone, my boy. You got some. Listen, I just want an explanation, right? Maybe we're missing something, right? For real. Maybe we are, right, Joe? It's always a possibility. Maybe there's something that we're missing. What's the problem with giving us an answer, right?
I mean, we don't always know all the information. We're just supposed to share the information we're given and ask questions. We're not saying who's right or who's wrong. We're giving you our opinion based on the facts at hand that we see.
Yeah.
So if we're not seeing all the facts, tell us the facts. Show us the facts. Yeah, show us what's happening. Tell us why we're wrong.
Actually might be able to give us better insight, though, for real.
Kamala?
We should. I'm going to butcher her name right now. I'm not going to lie, and I apologize. I'm not meaning to do this on purpose. So whoever's hearing this, I'm not a racist or anything like that. I believe it's Kamala Harris. She was actually in the wasn't her role before
in Cali.
I bet you she could give us a good answer. I bet you she could. I'd like to hear. I'm just curious. Send us an email. You don't got to get on the show. I know you're not going to get on our show, but what I'm saying is I'd like to just know if anybody can shed some light on our boy's situation, dude. I would greatly appreciate it. If we're missing something and there's information that we don't necessarily see, like Joey said, I second that completely. We are just giving the information based on as we get it. It couldn't have been put a better way. I appreciate you, because it's just going off what we see. And if we're not seeing something, I would love to see it. And I'm sure my boy would too. Prentice would love to know what's going on, right? So would change.org. All these people that are behind him. His brother's name is Eric, right? So shout out to Eric. Thanks, dude, because I'm
he
sure
never gave up hope.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm sure all these people would love to get an answer is basically what it is. We just want to know why. We're kind of curious. And we would really appreciate that, right, Joel?
Oh, I definitely would. I mean, I'd like to know the
Yeah.
information. I'm like a sponge. If you send it at me, I'm going to
Yeah.
look at it. I'm going to absorb it. I'm going to learn from it. And I'm going to see what it goes to other industries or other people, because maybe there's other people in a similar situation that you spelled their name wrong and lost in the system too that would love to know why they do that.
Right?
Exactly. I mean, I
Right? I mean,
wonder.
just maybe.
Maybe, right?
Just maybe.
Who
You
knows?
know, it's a it's a possibility that you might just have one or two more, maybe a couple that you forgot to put their name in correctly, so we just don't know about them, and we're just curious,
Might be
right?
why no one can find Hoover, but who knows?
But I can tell you right now, judging by based off of what I can see, like I said, you know, like he said in his interview, boredom, not enough options, um, just got into the wrong life, was at the wrong place at the wrong time, around the wrong people, and ended up paying 33 years of his life
And
for
that's a
it.
long part of your life to pay. Now, that's a big chunk.
Man,
That's over a third of
and
your
how do
life.
you even put a price tag on that for
You
real?
can't.
You know what I'm saying? How do you sit down and put a price tag on 33 years of your life? And then mind you, remember, I don't know if I think he mentioned this. I know he mentioned I know he's mentioned it to me now, but I believe he had to hear his mother pass away over the phone,
Yes,
is what he said,
he did.
right? Didn't he
He
say that
did.
in
He
the
did say that.
interview? I
Yes.
want to make sure I'm accurate. Could you imagine?
No.
Could you imagine needing to? Oh man, I don't even want to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
how do
then
you
again,
get
let's go into it. Like for a second on that, just real quickly, because of the fact that I mean, we've seen enough documentaries, we've seen enough movies, we've watched enough heritage stuff on our Italian side. We understand the
Yeah,
fact that
yeah,
in other cultures, if the defendant in this situation has money and they're incarcerated, they will
yeah.
make a exception. They will lock you up in chains. They'll pay for the security. Doesn't matter who they are, but they'll find a way to bring you to that funeral if you got the money to do so.
Oh God. So just a little quick. I'm glad you said that. Now, so quick little sidebar, right? Last time I was in Cook County, my last time going to prison,
Cook
I was
County.
fighting my case. Yeah, Cook County, Chicago. I was fighting a case from DuPage County, and I was fighting a case from Cook County, right? Because I caught my new case I caught in DuPage, right? So I'm going back and forth to court one day, and I had Judge Wilson, and I'm sitting there, and one day I couldn't get a hold of my dad. I'm on like a writ thing, and I'm in Division 3 Annex, the drug program, West Care drug program in Cook County, right? I'm doing a little bit of time in there, and I can't get a hold of nobody. And somebody eventually gets word through the counselors and the COs that my dad had a stroke. Remember?
Oh,
My dad, yeah, my dad had a stroke going down the stairs, fell down a flight of 10 stairs at our house in Elmhurst,
yeah.
and he was in a coma, dude. It was they didn't, to be honest with you, they didn't know why he wouldn't come up out of it, right? And you only get these 15-minute phone calls while you're in jail. Like it cuts you off. And in Cook County, there's a phone line, dude. So there isn't no JJ blowing up the phone, right? I can't do that. Motherfuckers want to get on that joint, dude. They getting on that joint, right? So, um, I'm trying to figure out whatever I can over the course of time about my pops. And then one day I finally get through again, and they're telling me like, "Hey, listen, there's going to be a priest come over and read dad his last rites and all this other shit. Mom's trying to avoid it. It doesn't look good, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, man. So Vadim got me a motion to get me a bond, because as long as Judge Wilson would give me a bond, I would be allowed to go watch my dad basically pass away, because we thought that he was going to die. They were basically keeping him alive on a machine at this point, right? So I'm like, okay, Vadim's gonna get me out. Vadim's the GOAT, dude. He doesn't not get shit done, right? Vadim's confident. Vadim's like, listen, you're gonna be good, but you're gonna have to come right back, basically, right? So you're going to be on bond. And then whatever happens with your pops, once that's figured out, they're going to put you back in. You're going to prison, right? They're just going to let you go see this shit. So I'm like, okay, for sure. I go to court, dude. And when you go to court in Cook County, it's like a 5-hour process, right? So you get to court, right? I get in front of the judge. Dude, I don't even know how to fucking explain what happened, dude. The judge basically told me, Judge Wilson basically told me that maybe if my father died and I was in jail, that would teach me to never come back. Vadim seen the look on my face. I was about to spit on him, bro. I was about to spit on him. And Vadim just looked and he was like, no, no, no. And he got me back to my cell and was like, listen, calm down. I'm like, what, this motherfucker? What, are you fucking serious? I was nuts. I'm going crazy.
I would too.
But, you know, like you were saying, it's not easy to just get out and go do these things when like, I mean, I thought my pops was going to be gone. And they would not let me go out to see him die. Now, listen, I don't know, by the grace of God, whatever happened, my father ended up coming out of a coma. Took him some time to get him back walking, and now he's killing it, right? He's absolutely killing it, which is a huge blessing. But when you're in Prentice's situation, you know that that's about to happen, right? He knew his mom was going to die. Right. He knew it was the end, right? So you got to sit there and do that over a phone, dude. I mean, I really feel for him, and I just don't know what anybody could do to replace any of that, right? I don't see how you give any of that stuff back. They could give him millions and millions of dollars. It doesn't bring mom back. It doesn't bring the countless family members that he's lost, because remember, he doesn't have much anymore, dude. Remember, he was telling us that, like, a lot of the people that are around him are people that believe in him, and they're not necessarily family. They're like us. So I know I've reiterated this now twice, dude. I really appreciate you and the team taking on that story, dude.
Well, you're part of the team now. I mean, you're not just sitting up at the top anymore. You're sitting here on the mic on part of the team.
Yeah, but you know, without you guys pushing the way that you guys have been, right, which is very important to what we have going on here. We've got a lot of different things that are in motion due to where F'nAround went, right? So we appreciate the fuck out of you guys for killing it, obviously, right? And I appreciate you personally for taking on Prentice's story and obviously doing everything that you've done with it already, because, you know, don't downplay, right? You've gotten a ton of listens since Thanksgiving on the story, right? We're getting a ton of traction. We've got a few lawyers looking at it. I actually am going to mention one. I believe his name is James Piazza out of Michigan. Phil put me in tune with him. I'm supposed to be giving him a call on Monday. I'm gonna reach out to him. Just know that we're coming. We're coming. Whoever's watching this in California and, you know, and wherever, we're gonna do whatever we can to help you out, Prentice. Right? We got you. Anything in our power to help you out, bud, and get this story out there.
And it's not just America listening. Just so you know, we got London listening now. We got the Netherlands, and we got Canada, and that's just so far in the first 48 hours of listeners.
Let's talk a little bit about that now. You know what I'm saying? Tell us a little bit about your numbers over there, Joe. How's everything looking with you guys over there?
So we're actually doing pretty well. We've hit 5 continents already. We're in dozens of countries. And I'm not just talking about we're being streamed, because we're being streamed anywhere you got a device, you can listen to us. I only count our locations based on where someone's actually picked up their device and they've gone to us and listened. So, I mean, we've just hit about 45 days. We're over 2,500 downloads for the podcast. Right now, as of the first 48 hours, we just broke 50 downloads for Prentice's story, with over 100 people searching for it. We're all over the U.S., and we're currently being seen. And we had someone in London look at it, someone in the Netherlands, as well as somewhere in Ontario already listened to the story as well. So it's moving quickly, and people are spreading. And if you're listening to the numbers and you're a musician, you're like, oh, okay, those aren't great. But when you're listening to a podcast, those are actually pretty good numbers. That means people are actually paying attention, and they care about what's going on. And you're trying to build up a steady stream of people going. But the point of the idea is not everyone's going to listen to the podcast, but one person who listens to it might tell 2 people, and those 2 people will tell people. So the point of these our podcast and F'nAround, we're not trying to get thousands of people to listen to us, though we'd love to have it on every episode. And trust me, we're never going to turn down thousands or millions of listeners. But the point is, it's about spreading the story and what they're doing and what's going on wrong. And it's the word of mouth and the people getting out there that's going to make the change to the system. And not saying something's going to change, but enough people talk about it, maybe they might realize that something's wrong. You all right over there?
I could not agree with you more.
Did you get something from Big Canna? You're trying to get that remediated pesticides?
So low key, I don't know where this company's out of. I really want you to find them though, and tell me if they're a good company. It's Pinpoint,
Okay,
right? They're out of St. Louis.
We'll have to look into it.
Some of the best carts that I've smoked at, excuse me, amazing prices, dude. I believe they always have deals at like 30, 35 a cart. So shout out to Pinpoint. Unless you guys are pieces of shit,
I'll find out.
It back. So
I'll find out if you are.
Trust and believe. My boy's gonna look into it now, especially because I said that magical word before it. He's probably hoping that I didn't say that.
No, I definitely hope you didn't say that. I didn't want you to say their name. Now I have to look into them. But speaking of pieces of shit, so for Thanksgiving, right? Everybody loves pumpkin pie, right? We all do. And there's nothing wrong with the Costco's and what they do for food. I mean, they do a lot, and they're a huge, big company. And if I support local, I'll support local, and I can do it. And we do buy from local companies for cakes and pies. But there's something about that big $6 pumpkin pie that you get from Costco that everybody loves. And I'm not saying I do, because honestly, I don't even eat pumpkin pie, but family does. So it's kind of like that old Cat Williams joke. I don't like silk pillowcases, but the bitches do. So you get it for the family that like it, right? You don't get it for yourself. Having Thanksgiving and having holidays is about supporting the people there, not just about what you like and what you want to do. So if people want pumpkin pie, you get it. So 2 days before Thanksgiving, my mom and her friends went out and they went shopping and did everything. They picked up one of the pumpkin pies and 2 pecan pies, right? Picked it all up, put it in the fridge in the garage, let it sit there. For the day of Thanksgiving, we're pulling everything out, because what she was planning on doing is we did actually use the pecan pie for a layered parfait, where we actually made like cream and chocolate mousse layers. And I sat there with the blender and the Cool Whip and everything, and we made the layers and did it not right. So I mixed it, she layered it, but with the pecan pies and different stuff, because what she was doing was making her own version of the Cake Boss, which we also supported and got a cake from as well, where they do like the pecan pie, cake, cheesecake, and they layer it. So she did her own version she was trying to do it with Costco stuff, where she made the internal layers. So we pull up the pumpkin pie, right? And it's got mold drops all over it, like on top of it. It looked like the pie was dried out and done. Couldn't believe it. Obviously, you can't use it. I posted some pictures up. I mean, that one actually got like 40-some thousand hits on Reddit as well. And people thought the fridge was broken. There's no way it's like that. And then a couple other people started jumping on and were like, oh, the same thing happens to me. And then someone said what it is when you're a large corporation and you're not a mom and pop bakery that like actually put some care into it. What happens is, if you make so many of them and you're running out of space, if you close the pie before it's fully cooled off, you're trapping the moisture in there with the heat. So the mold comes from the fact that they closed up the pie in that plastic and tin lid that before it was fully cooled off. So the moisture from the pie that's supposed to cool off, like when you're letting it settle, went to the top, turned to the water, came back down, and molded the pie. I did not know that.
You're not supposed to put nothing away warm, dude.
But I did learn that from Reddit, so thank you, Reddit, for teaching me that. And I thought you would want to know it, because I know you
do is ask me, you chooch. I would have fucking told you that.
But it's nice to know, because I posted that up there and started getting the traction on that as well. Because I mean, who expects that 2 days after you purchased it?
So when you did that, right? I'm sitting at the table when I seen that post, and we were cooking, and I'm like, Tressa, you got to see this. So I showed Tressa and Midge, right? And Tressa had mentioned that when she was just at Costco, there was quite a few people saying that they were having the same problem.
Oh, so it could be an issue this year.
Now I got something stuck in my throat. So
the truth.
They said that it wasn't that it was more of a problem this year with shit, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as you say, big corporation and shit, dude, I don't give a fuck about none of them. Them big corporations, you guys got all the motherfucking money, man. you guys better make sure that that product, I expect that more from a little mom and pop because they're the ones that are putting in all the blood, sweat, and tears. So fuck ups are going to be bound to happen, right? But when you're talking about a company that generates what? What are Costco's numbers, Joe, off top? What do you think they
I
are, man?
don't even want to guess because it's
Exactly. That's my
but if
point,
the
right? If
cost of them
a
doing a
guy like
dollar,
you doesn't want to guess, then
yeah,
nobody really wants to. Then,
I,
then
I
there's then there's a noble amount of
I
money
mean,
that
look
we
at
can
that
talk.
$1.50 hot dog and drink special. They're still doing that, and it doesn't affect their bottom line.
No. And listen, I love Costco. The chicken pot pie, out of this fucking world, dude. You know them big ass chicken pot pies that you can get there?
No,
The ones you just, oh dude, you gotta get it.
so I got
It's
Manny's down the
huge.
block. So if I want a chicken pot pie, I go there when they
You
do their con.
lucky son.
Yeah,
Listen, you gotta stop doing that shit. I moved away. There ain't a fucking thing to eat around here to save my fucking life. You got to see it. Listen, one thing I can tell you right now, Flowery Branch, Georgia, you guys need to step this game up with these restaurants. I tried to get one. You guys wouldn't let me,
right.
right? You guys made it damn near impossible for me to get it done. So come on. Listen, let's fucking get some better food down here because this shit sucks. My boys over there talking about Manny's, man. I could go for a corned beef right now so bad.
I love Manny's. Their food is delicious.
Yo, yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I think
And you
more
know what?
business
You
moves
always
were
got
made in
Uncle
Manny's
Steve
than
down
most
the
places
street
in
too.
Chicago. Honestly, I
You
think
got
that
You got Uncle Steve down the street too. Listen,
yep.
we can't forget about Uncle Steve and Beatrice and Jose over there at Carms, man.
Ever
I'm
since they
telling
moved to
you,
that Mexican food too, that's actually really good. I mean, they got burrito
dude.
bowls and stuff too. It's amazing.
And if you go in there and see them, bro, can you please let them know that I try to call them. I know that they're busy, but and we're always out of touch. But what Jose does to that fucking to that Italian ice, he has got so many flavors over there, man. So I just want to say, my Uncle Steve's got the best Italian ice in the city at Carms Beef on Polk and Carpenter right over there, right? So if you're ever in the UIC area, go check him out, dude. Uncle Steve's the GOAT. He's down in Florida, but he's got his 2 day ones, Beatrice and Jose over there taking care of it, holding down the fort. 2 solid people. Love you guys. Miss you. If you guys listen to this, send some fucking Italian ice to Georgia because there ain't shit down here.
It'll get lost. It'll get lost in the mail. Don't worry.
So you like how I put my order over the show?
Oh, I
You know
definitely
what I'm
do.
saying?
Hopefully they listen and get it.
Oh no, I'm gonna send it to them. So
Oh.
they're definitely. I don't care. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm
Or if
sending
you
this right
start
to
getting
you.
some fans listening, they'll just start doing it. Open a PO box and they'll start sending you that stuff. You could be like one of
Yeah,
those
right.
TikTok stars.
Yo, dude. I mean, now we're man. We could go for out. We can't get lost off on food, bro. If we start talking about food that's around you, we're in trouble, my
Oh,
boy. Just
I
so
mean,
you know.
we could touch in once in a while the stuff that we're eating or going when it's a good, especially around the holidays. It's kind of hard not to.
Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah,
can't not do food. I mean, I'm here in Chicago. That's all there is food. But
yeah, right.
I mean, look at
Yeah,
especially with
miss it.
Black Friday, all the food and stuff going on too. People are putting this stuff out there. Oh, speaking
Yo,
of,
how was it by you?
oh,
Chaotic? What was it?
actually, it was the most dead it's ever been for shopping. I was very surprised. Like, yeah,
Down by you, really?
so I actually went over with my mom. We went over to Crate and Barrel to pick up some stuff, and because for the first time ever, I tried a Joseph garlic roller. Have you ever seen one of those? So,
No.
so I'm always the one dealing with cutting up the garlic and shredding it up because it's one of the harder things to do when you're setting up for Italian food. But they got
Yeah.
these garlic rollers now. It kind of looks like a little canoe type thing with holes in the bottom, and after you peel it open, you just roll it on top of it and it shreds it up. Amazing.
Mhm.
So we go to Crate and Barrel to go pick up a couple of them. Then after we want to stop at Williams Sonoma, the same garlic rollers at Williams Sonoma for $5 cheaper, which you'd never expect because Williams Sonoma should be more expensive than Crate and Barrel.
100%.
Made no sense.
100%.
Same roller, same brand, and the name of it's Joseph. They call it the Joseph garlic roller, so of course you know who's going to use it.
No shit.
Yeah, it's like they printed my name on it just so the whole family realized, okay, Joe's forever doing the garlic.
Yeah, now you're stuck like Chuck. It's
Right.
over with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no way out of
Yeah,
that one.
There's no way. But actually, you know what, low key, you kind of get to go off in the cut and do your thing. When you're cleaning garlic, it's better to do that shit like in the corner of the counter somewhere by yourself, so everybody kind of leaves you alone because they don't want shit to do with it.
Exactly.
So it's low key like a win-win thing, but it's fucking tedious, bro. We always make my son do it. My son's 4 and he peels garlic. He cleans garlic.
Oh, he peels garlic. He makes songs. He does a bunch of stuff. The kid's super
Listen, he's
talented.
a little celebrity. One of these days when I'm gonna get him up, I'm gonna get him up on the camera one of these days and have him come and talk to these people. I mean, this kid's smarter than some of the corporate people we hear you talking about. I'm telling you, I could have put my son at the table in New Era and he wouldn't have fucked up that deal.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm
I mean,
serious.
sadly, I passed them on Black Friday when I was going to do the shopping with my mom. They didn't have a single car in the parking lot, so I don't know what's going on with their business.
Hey, did you notice, speaking of local, speaking of IU, did you notice that for some reason you can't get that JP Graziano shit? From what I was told, right? So, I should say we, I'm not going to say you, but after you showed me that situation with JP Graziano, because they're like a staple in the neighborhood for sandwiches,
Huge
right?
staple,
So,
delicious food. Everybody who's Italian supports them. It's a staple amongst Little Italy. It's a staple over here in Chicago.
just yeah, it's just the spot to go if you want sandwiches in Little Italy, right? That or Conti di Savoy, right? Conti's bomb diggity do. So, anyways, but JP Graziano did that pepper thing, right? Which I'm not gonna lie to you, I think is disgusting. I don't know why you would want to have an infused pepper on your sandwich, right? I don't want to get stoned while I eat. I'm more of a guy that wants to get stoned after I eat, right? Or a lot of people are usually before they eat, right? But um, you know, I think that they're going too far with this edible thing, right? And infusing stuff. Like it's cool for alcohol, right? That's super cool. That's a cool concept, right? It's cool for like the gummies and the candy and the bake,
The only thing I
the
don't like about the gummies, I don't partake anymore. But when I did, it was you're gonna give me a bag of gummies and tell me I can eat one. I like gummies. I'm gonna stick a whole bag in the
Mhm.
freezer, freeze the thing, and I'm gonna eat it like I'm an addict, and I'm gonna go through them. And I freeze them so it delays how long I eat them. But I suck on them like
Yeah,
a Jolly Rancher until it gets soft, and I eat it. Delicious.
yeah,
Best way to eat gummy
yeah.
bears. But the problem is, once again, how do you eat one?
Well, yeah, see, and that's what you might want to try to get in touch with Joey Diaz from the Joe Rogan show that's always on there because that motherfucker be taking down 200 milligrams like 4, 5, 6 times a day,
That
and
guy is
that's what he
hilarious.
said. I think I've heard him say it too, where he's like, "How do you just eat one?" You know what I'm saying? Like, how do
No.
you just eat one? So this
Oh,
motherfucker's going,
and I'm sorry
fucking,
to jump in there for you a second. I know we'll come back to it, but we're trying to create a little more structure to the show. So at this point, this is the point where I want James kind of go in a local highlight spotlight and kind of explain to us what we've been doing with Through and To All, because this is going to be a new
oh, of
staple on the
course,
show.
yeah,
After I do my little
yeah.
rants and raves on what's bothering me or James in the world, James gets to step in and talk about some good things. So I want to introduce that to you, what that concept is and how we're going to go with it, because this is going to be a staple of our morning show now.
Yeah, we're definitely going to make sure that we Joey wants to make sure that we really pound all the things that the people that are all under 312 all have going on because there's just a lot of moving parts, right? It's a very quick growing company, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I never imagined in a million years that I would be in tune with some of the people that I'm in tune with these days, right? On a regular basis. For example, I just got a text message this morning from my boy, Mr. Big O, right? Who is, I mean, if you're talking about the epitome of an artist, that's who this kid is, right? But he's become more of a brother to me over the past like 6, 7 months, right? So we really always work closely together on everything now at this point, dude. And he just got a pretty nice a nice project put together, which I'm gonna get him on the show to talk about. I'm not gonna dive into his project, but he just got offered a project that's amazing, right? And I bring him up first to say that him, Stunt, and Tommy were originally, remember, the three people that we were talking
Yep.
to, right? And those three people are the people that have really built this foundation that we've talked about, right? And V has come so far since the day that I've started messing with him. I call him V, right? His name's Mr. Biggle, but I call him V. Not everybody could do that, so don't do that, my bad. But he's come so far in his career that it's great to see that people still think of 312 all and you, Joe. Like I have the text right here. He literally just told me this morning that he knows that we're the team, that he's glad that we've been behind him and working with him. I mean, he's so happy and proud of where we've come from. And 312 all has made so many big moves, which, like with Motivate the Trenches, you have Tommy Band's Head Rush is doing amazing, right? We've talked about that before. My boy's killing it.
Oh, I saw
I
something he
absolutely,
did on TikTok, by the way, with the mics and the caution tape. That was actually a really good thing.
oh, dude,
I
you liked
liked
his
that.
mic drop
I
video,
liked
right?
his mic
So,
drop video. That was really good.
so
Don't mean to
super
interrupt.
big
I know you got
shout
to get
out.
into everybody else in this thing, but I liked that mic drop video. That was really good. I caught it randomly on TikTok.
I'm so glad you pointed that out because Tommy's really proud of that work, right? And super big shout out to Exclusive, right, dude? Exclusive killed it. Um, Everybody go check out Exclusive Techniques out on Instagram. He absolutely killed that mic drop, dude. And you'll be seeing a lot more work from him and Tommy Bands and Little Chris and them really, really quick. They got a lot going on over there at Motivate the Trenches. I'm not going to give you guys a drop date for Max's song. We've talked about that. But just know that Where Is Max is coming out, right? Music video's done. It'll be there, dude. You guys are about to see one hell of a project from my boy, right? We got Stitchy, who literally has a vault full of music. He's just recording like crazy. He had a slight surgery for something on his eye, so it was a little bit of a recovering thing. You just recovered from your rib stuff, right? So he had something with the eye, like a sty or something he needed to get removed. So he was recovering from that, and it kind of kept him off social media and shit. But he was recording the whole time, so we got a ton of music coming from him. Freddie is just, man, Freddie's over there working, man. I'm proud of my boy, dude. Him and Little Chris really, they really know what they're trying to build, right? And they're really building a beautiful situation for themselves over there. But one thing that we always got to remember, and what Freddie makes sure he tells me is, Chris is an artist, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Chris is an artist through and through, right? So right now, we want to make sure that we highlight that also too, right? Chris is definitely one of my partners and brothers for life, right? At Motivate the Trenches. But Chris is also a very accomplished and amazing artist, right? So make sure everybody go check him out too, dude. Chris has a ton of music out there. I'm sure everybody listening knows this, but for anybody new tuning in, right? Chris has a ton of good music. He's an amazing artist. Love his work. He does out of this world engineering, dude, which we'll jump to this now too. So gotta reach out from an artist, right? I'm not gonna drop his name just yet, but he's worked with all these guys. Neil Gang, Joey, these are people you've heard of. Neil Gang, he knows Stunt Taylor, he knows Kingpin Rue, Ricky, all these people.
Didn't Stunt album just drop?
Oh, dude, don't even worry. We're getting to that, dude. We got some,
just making sure.
We got something to talk about with that. I want to get the little quick shit out of the way here. And not to minimize it, these are just things that, are always in motion and still growing. But, we have new artists reaching out, seeing what we're doing with things like Stunt's album, right? Because the reason why this artist reached out was because he loves the work on there. And then I'm not going to lie to you, I passed all the buck on to Stunt, right? I said, man, listen, I can't lie to you, bro. My boy put this work in. And we're the ones that are behind him, supporting him, pushing him, helping him think of different ways to further himself as an artist. But when it comes to creating that art, that's my boy, dude. And Stunt, I know you're listening to this when this drops. Dude, thank you. Thank you for making us a part of this project. Thank you for killing the project, for one. Absolutely killing the project. That project's a banger. Stunting on Turbo 2 is on all platforms, everybody, dude. Every single platform known to man, it's there, dude. You go into a bar, you hit that Touch Tunes jukebox, Stunting on Turbo's there. And then another big thing, everybody. Everything is all back out, and everything's going to start coming back out. Stunt is going to be re-releasing tracks and reworking certain projects that he's done in the past. He's got this newfound motivation, dude, that like in the past 6 months just has not stopped growing every day, right? So we've seen that when he jumped back into the game, right? Remember these conversations? Remember, you were at his apartment.
I was there. He taught me how to use productions and producing music, and he taught me how to do the publishing. Everything I learned from music in the beginning, I learned from Stunt.
Dude, and this motivation and drive has grown immense, dude. One of these days we'll have to get him on so he can tell you about some of his new business ideas. I'm serious. Nothing to do with music. You're going to love where his thought process is, dude. It's fucking crazy. He's got some good ideas. So, but it shows in his music though. So he's producing these great records. He's doing projects with Little Chris. He got Neil Gang. You know, I mean, you know, he's getting back in motion. You know, you
He
see him
found his
back out
groove.
there on the.
Stunt got his groove back.
Oh, dude, it's that's exactly what it is. And you know what he tells everybody? He attributes it to us, and it's everybody, dude. It's everybody. So, dude, everybody, make sure you go check out Stunt on Turbo 2 on all platforms, man. It's going nuts right now. I'm partial, right? I'm partial to All In, and I am partial to Big Difference, right? Two of my favorites, right? Not to mention the kids got a track on there, you know, nice little intro. Stunt got Carter on there. Shout out to Little Stunt, dude. Kai is on there. Shout out to the wonderful Kai, dude. The princess, dude. You know how he's coming,
Yep.
right? He even got Little Chooch on there.
He's bringing the whole family.
Dude, he's tying everything together in every way possible. And, you know, I'm really, really, really proud of my boys. So, you know, as always, again, shout out to Stunt Taylor, dude. I appreciate you. But there's just so much other stuff going on too, right? We are going to currently be partnering with WURE, right? FM.
We're currently on there right now, James.
Yeah. No, so I'm just
They're listening to this on WURE.
Yeah, this is going to be airing on WURE, where our partnership with them is growing, right? We are looking for new music to build the station up, so this kind of gives me a little bit of an opportunity to explain that. So, what we want to do is we really want to kind of stay underground hip hop R&B with this. Right now, we're not going to necessarily say that that's it, right? We're just going to make sure that this always stays true to the WURE Memphis, you know, vibe of underground hip hop and R&B, right? So we don't want to ever lose our vision on that. So what we're looking for is independent underground artists that are willing to, you know, put in the work to be on the radio, right? Give us that quality music that we're looking for, that has the music videos and we're looking for guys that are really investing in their careers, that are looking to get a part of the situation and get on WURE, right? We want to put together radio packages for people, between the podcasts that we have with F'nAround, the morning show, you know, Say Word with JoJo over there, dude. He's doing some big things too. And we have quite a few others. We would like to start hearing from you guys. So if you go to www.wurememphis.com, you can submit music on there, right? We're working on putting radio play packages together right now. We're also putting together marketing packages, so, you know, stay tuned for that through WURE and 312 All. And, you know, that really, as of right now, just, you know, stay tuned, dude. We got a lot of different projects. If I missed anybody, dude, it's because I got a million things going on a day. I apologize.
Well, we'll be doing this Monday through Friday, so feel free to text him and he'll get it in there eventually.
Yeah, and also, listen, I'm gonna also, you know, work on getting Freddie in maybe like once a week, where Freddie could kind of, you know, catch everybody up to speed on the music. I know Freddie's really busy right now himself. But obviously, you know, if anybody wants to, you know, get in tune with 312 All and the music aspect of things, we always, we accept all messages, dude, as long as you're not a spam bot or a fucking stupid bullshit. You know, we're always willing to hear shit. So, we appreciate all the support that everybody's been giving us. Shout out to Tink. Tink's going crazy. Freddie, Chris, everybody, Tommy, everybody, you guys all know how I'm coming, dude. Dude, listen, them two, right? They're fucking insane, them two, bro. I don't know how they're putting in, or Mo right now, I could tell you right now, I talked to him the other day. This guy's spending ridiculous amounts of hours editing, research, you know, top to bottom, just getting, I mean, obviously none of these guys, just to point out to everybody too, none of these guys did podcasts before this, right? None of these guys did this shit. Joe, Mike, and Jalot are brand new to it. It's a brand new thing. So, you know, let's keep that in mind when you see how great they're doing now, because these guys are absolutely fucking killing it.
And so, don't judge us on our audio quality for the first 4 episodes. That was, we were finding our feet.
Yeah, just like we're doing with this too. So There's obviously going to be some kinks that we're going to work out with this situation, but we appreciate everybody's support as always, dude. I think that's all I got for like 312 All and stuff though, my boy. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I got a few things that I don't want to talk about because I'd rather I want to get the artists a chance to get up on here. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
mean, I
And
think
talk
it's the
about
best way to go. I mean, we're just kicking it off and starting. So starting it off, it's nice to kind of bring everybody in and talk about it. But I mean, we're going to have a lot of time and opportunities
yeah,
to bring people
most
on and
definitely.
talk. So I mean, there's a point to bring someone in here or there to give their little 15 minutes to talk about what they're working on, what they're going. I think that's the best way to go about it. But with that being said, I mean, this was a great start to the week, great start to December, and we're going to be ranting and raving and shining a spotlight and everything going on a daily basis. So with that being said, it was great talking to you this morning. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. And this is Joe from F'nAround in the morning.
And this is JJ from 312 All, everybody.
Have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you for effing around with us in the morning.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right, see you tomorrow morning.
Effing around, start the day. Lesson breaks, we got something to say. Feel the beat, the energy rise. It's morning mayhem, no surprise. We're effing around, sun's up, it's true. Morning vibes just for you.
Sounds good.